Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Eugene Vindman of Virginia. He is a member of the Armed Services Committee and a retired Army colonel. Congressman Vindman, thank you very much for coming to The Last Word. In a normal administration, we'd be asking about the negotiations. In this administration, I'm just going to ask, what's your understanding of where we are in Iran, and what is Trump trying to get out of these talks in Pakistan?
Well, Jonathan, thank you for having me tonight. Look, the answer is simple. We're in a bad position, and Donald Trump is trying to get himself out of a pickle. He started this war of choice about 45 days ago without a real plan. He thought that a bombing campaign would be sufficient to bring the Iranians to their knees, for the Iranian population to rise up. It was based on hope, and all of that has failed. Now here we are in a war where the ceasefire proposal starts with the Iranian proposal, 10-point plan, lifting sanctions. They get to control the Strait of Hormuz, charge fees for the transit. Oh, by the way, we've lifted sanctions on their oil, and the Russians also have sanctions relief. So it's a really bad position for the United States to start negotiating from. And the only thing worse than this ceasefire is, frankly, the war continuing under the management of this president and this administration. I mean, Pete Hegseth has no idea what he's doing, and neither does Donald Trump. And I think we're in significant trouble here.
So then what do you think that means for the Strait of Hormuz? What happens? Can that genie be put back in the bottle?
Well, it's going to be extremely difficult. The United States, unfortunately, Donald Trump dragged this country into a war without support from allies. He's attempting to badger allies after the fact. He's allowing the Iranians to establish a new normal by controlling the strait. And oh, by the way, they recognize that they're in a strong negotiating position. That is why they're adding additional preconditions, as you described at the beginning. Their assets being released, and Lebanon strikes by Israel being stopped. That's the other thing here, is that Israel is basically an independent actor here. We started the war somewhat aligned on our interests, but never with unified command, never with unified goals. And here they are diverging pretty dramatically, and the position is really bad. I have, frankly, low expectations for the negotiations that are about to start in Pakistan.
I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about this arch President Trump is focused on building when his war is costing billions of dollars, and it will change the skyline in your state. Your thoughts on this proposed 250-foot arch?
Well, it's wasteful. I mean, first of all, we wasted $50 billion on a war where we could use that money to fund healthcare, to fund education, to fund schools, to fund infrastructure. And Donald Trump is talking about building an arch. You know what? He's currently in Charlottesville, Virginia, at a fundraiser for $1 million a person for MAGA Inc. Well, guess what? Virginia, we have a redistricting referendum. 11 days to go. Early voting has started. A bunch of early voting locations open up tomorrow. And we have an opportunity. If you don't like the war in Iran, vote yes on the referendum. If you don't like paying more for gas, vote yes on the referendum. If you don't like the arch, certainly vote yes on the referendum. This is an opportunity to dump Trump and vote yes on the referendum.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was just about to ask you about the referendum. Clearly, some voters are still uncomfortable with redistricting. A poll that came out showed that 44% said that they would not vote for the redistricting referendum in Virginia. What would you say to them about the choice in this moment?
Yeah, it's simple. The president started a redistricting war around the country. He called up his minions in places like Missouri and Texas, where they made backroom deals. Legislators decided, and to flip them out because the president recognized he could not win this midterm election, given how unpopular his policies are. He's raised tariffs. He's increased cost of gas. There's a direct line from his actions and what he's doing, this war in Iran, to how much people are paying at the pump. And so what he was elected to do was to control costs, and he's actually skyrocketing costs. And there's an opportunity. This is a direct opportunity for Virginians to take action to control this president.
Yeah.
If you don't like the direction this country is going in, this referendum is for you to go out and vote to dump Trump, get control of the president when the midterms are won by Democrats, and change the direction of this country.
Congressman Eugene Vindman of Virginia, thank you very much for coming to The Last Word.